Dr. Jeremy Weiss here, founder of InspiredInsider.com, where I interview top entrepreneurs and leaders and how they built their business. We're here at the Sage Summit, and the company today is Entryless, and Mike Galarza, who hails from Mexico. Mike, thanks for joining me, and tell me about Entryless and what it does.
Yeah, thanks for the invitation. Yes, my name is Mike Galarza. I'm the founder and CEO of Entryless. I originally came to the US as an intern, and I actually found out that there was a lot of problems in the accounting space because there were a lot of manual processes. So when I set out to envision a solution, it had to be automated, and it had to reduce the time that it was spent actually managing those systems.
What were you doing as an intern when you first came here?
I was actually doing the payables. So I was manually typing accounting records.
You're like, I don't want to manually type anything.
Exactly. Yes. And it was an opportunity in which I went onto a different company, much larger one, and I had a team that actually would be doing the data entry. But I kept thinking, from my first internship job, that couldn't be possible.
There's an easier way.
Couldn't stand it, and it was a pain that I saw it. And then when I talked to my colleagues, they had the same pain, and there wasn't a solution the way that I thought about it, and I just had to do it.
So what made you decide to come over? Because originally from Mexico, when did you come over to the States? How long have you been here?
I've been close to 8 years now, and the company since founding has been 4 years and a half. Yes.
So is your family still in Mexico?
Yes, all my friends and family are over there, but
okay.
Yeah, the Entryless is all in the United States, and that's really what really drives through.
What's the tough part about starting a company in the U.S. when you're from Mexico? Because obviously you can probably work from anywhere. What made you decide to stay and start it in the U.S.?
Yeah, it was actually the talent that you can find in Silicon Valley,
yeah.
and really the merging of cultures that happen in such a place. And I thought of that as a huge value, and also the ecosystem that can support a startup like Entryless and any other startup due to the networking and also the speed of innovation and the encouragement that you get from fellow entrepreneurs to really drive through, because entrepreneurship, it's really hard. But it's very enjoyable, and then once you win, you really win, and that's what motivated me to stay in the United States and not go back to Mexico and do the same thing.
So you said entrepreneurship is hard. It's not always easy. Talk about some of the hard times with starting the company.
Yeah, so actually the hardest thing was for me the transition to be doing a daily repetitive job into being an entrepreneur,
right.
That you need to do a little bit of everything, and you have to have perfect execution, because otherwise your company will be dead. I think that transition took me about a year at the time that we were actually developing the product.
So were you working full time while you were developing, or?
Doing that. Yes, I had to do that as well, because one of the biggest hurdles as well was the visa. So I had to get an investor visa so I could work full time into the startup.
Right. You're like, I need to stay here.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes, and that transition took about a year, but then once you fully understand as an entrepreneur what you need to do, because you always have the end goal of what you want to achieve, but then how you do it, it comes in different shapes and forms, and that can change from time to time.
Right. So talk about one of the days, right? Mm-hmm. One of the long days. What did that look like when you were working, and then, you tell me.
So now one of the long days we'll be talking to current investors, preparing reports for them, talking to customers that would like to use the product, but maybe they want to see more. So you need to stay with them. You need to show them the product, where you are going. Talking as well to the employees, so that actually they are developing the product that the customers are actually asking, and that we are not derailing that. And then as well as bringing the numbers on the conversions and putting the marketing perspective into one whole pot, so that we can bring customers.
So Mike, tell me about one of your favorite client success stories, your customer success stories.
Well, right now, the biggest one, it's a company that is down in Denver. They have probably over 15 companies right now using Entryless, and they love it because they make payments through Entryless, and they also automate their bills through Entryless. They have property management companies, they have restaurants. It's called the Fly Fisher company. So there are a group of accountants that manage a lot of small companies, and that really helps them to drive through that transition to be a sustainable company, and they do that thanks to using companies like Entryless so that they can get their financial reports instantaneous.
So who's the perfect ideal customer that should be using Entryless?
The perfect ideal customer is anybody that has bills and that don't have time to manually type them into their accounting system and that need to pay those bills. Usually the companies that come to Entryless right now, they have probably on average 50 to 100 bills that they need to usually manually type into their system, and they need to do about 20 payments a week.
So is it like what size company, like employee-wise usually?
Yes, employee-wise it can be 1 to 10 persons, but we measure more by turnover, so it's around $10 million in turnover, our average. So it can be that we have a sole proprietorship that maybe is doing only $100,000 a year, or we might have a company that is doing a $20 million, and that is a distribution business maybe down in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So talk about some of the milestones on the entrepreneurial journey, right?
Yes.
Some of the highs and lows. What's a low, and then what's a high? Start off with what's been like a hard time that you had to push through.
I think a hard time would be, for me it's about everything about the customer and not serving the customer the proper way. It's really something that I spend my time, because then why do you exist, right? Why does a company has the right to exist? And that's something that, for example, one time there was an error on the system in which we sent out about 7 emails to companies that already unsubscribed and that shouldn't have been sent out an email, but it was actually a billing email. That's why they were not on our unsubscribe base. And it was an error from...
They get a bill that they didn't know was coming and they weren't happy about.
They got a notice that we were trying to charge their monthly subscription when they didn't even have a subscription. So they posted a bad review somewhere that, that wasn't a bad that it was a bad company. So I really took, the direct approach. Okay, I'm going to talk to them directly. So I went out to them and say, hey, this is really what happened. We're very sorry. Please help our business, because it's not really our intention. And they understood. And I was able, to fix and get them to understand the situation. But that was really a dark day because, in the meantime that you understand first what happened and then that you understand that it's an error, you really don't want that to happen.
Yeah, that's smart, because you can almost turn someone who hates you into a customer. Like, that's maybe a good tactic. You just bill them, oh, we didn't mean to do that. Oh, what does your company do again?
Exactly.
What about like a high point?
A high point is anytime that you hire the right person, anytime that you hire someone that that is going to help you transform the company, because it's not only about you, the entrepreneur, the founder, but it's also the team that surrounds you and how they will help you drive that vision forward. And some of the highs would be when we have brought key members of the team.
Yeah. So talk about your team a little bit.
Yeah. So the team is fantastic. It's awesome. Some of them are right here at the conference. The first one is, CTO. He's the one that really drives the whole company to succeed on our technology. And I make sure that, we bring people to that technology and that they actually use it. But that's one of the key areas of Entryless and why we have been successful nowadays. Yeah. And that's something that has been one of the highlights.
What other parts do you need to run the company? What other positions?
Open positions right now?
No, not open, but any positions, like, obviously founder, CEO, CTO, who else is on staff?
Exactly. So right now we're focusing a lot on the conversion to paid customers. Entryless has a free component that we love companies to use it, and if they meet the certain threshold to upgrade and have more needs for Entryless software, that's where we come in. Our Salesforce come in, and we're building that part right now. And recently there's also our VP of Business Development that recently joined. He's coming from Visa, and he's helping us build out the full customer, success, sales development reps, account managers, and the full sales stack, and that's a key area that we are focusing.
So, Mike, how did you find or meet your CTO?
It was actually through a known connection that we had. That they knew that I was looking for, really a kick-ass CTO, and we got introduced. And at the first meeting, the first 15 minutes, we knew that we were on the same page and that we really wanted to transform Entryless into the next level. So it was a natural connection when when you talk about the things that you want to do and how you want to do it. It's not that we agreed on everything, but where we wanted to go, it was aligned. So it was just like a natural thing when when we started working, it's like, oh, look, it feels like we have already been working for like the past 10 years.
Right.
Yeah. So it was very interesting, actually.
So, like, talk about your proudest business achievement with Entryless.
Well, the proudest achievement so far, I still dream of the ultimate goal of getting all the companies to implement Entryless. You know, have a much more larger base. That's something that I feel that we're not done yet, and that we have achieved a lot, but we have a higher expectation of achievement, and that's what we really dream of.
Yeah. So, first, I'm going to have one last question for you, but where can people find you online? Where should they check you out?
Yeah, perfect. So they can simply type on their web browser entryless.com, and they can find our website. They can sign up. It's free to use up to a certain threshold, and we welcome them. And they can also find us on Twitter or Facebook at Entryless.
So basically, how you got the domain and why?
Yeah, actually, we got the domain because we really wanted a name that will represent the company moving forward and for the years to come. So we wanted really a forward-thinking name that could portray in one word what the company does. And we couldn't find a better way to depict that to a name that it's called Entryless, which is a two-word. We put it together into one to make it a name, to make it a brand. And fortunately enough, we found that it was available, and we purchased all domains related to it.
I'm so surprised it was actually available, Mike. So, Mike, last thing, everyone should check out Entryless.com. But last thing, what's a big lesson that you've learned that you'd impart on other entrepreneurs, whether starting a software company or another company? What's a big lesson for you that really sticks with you?
Yeah, the truth is that the biggest thing is not to give up. You really need to do the breakthrough, and it might be hard.
Yeah.
And it's always going to be hard. It's never going to be easy. If it was easy, there would be 100 times more companies around the world, successful companies around the world. So just never lay down. And a company fails, or a company shuts down when the founder decides not to pursue their dream.
Yeah.
And that's the point that a company is at. So my point in being that never give up, and always continue to pursue your passion, and let that passion help you drive through and be the fuel to build a business.
Where did you get that not give up attitude? Like from growing up, was there someone someone in your family that you were instilled, or where did you get that from?
I have never thought about that, but I think it's a life achievement that I want to do, in the sense that I have the passion to helping other people, and with Entryless we save them time and reduce efficiently, in their businesses. So I think that passion for me to help others really drive me to never quit and just continue to do it, because I know that I'm going to be able to help thousands and millions of businesses in the coming years to come, thanks to not giving up. And I think that comes part in sport. So I'm a big cyclist, and I love endurance sport. So I think it comes as well from that end, that at the end you achieve the hill, and the view is great.
Right. The view is great from Sage Summit. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.